Hello there, and what's up? My name is Ben from the Chompt Down Reviews, and this is just a little intro before the CHOMPTcast. I just wanted to remind everyone that you can listen to this on SoundCloud or on YouTube. Links for both will be below, and the best way that you can help us out is by sharing, liking, subscribing, and just trying to get the word out about the CHOMPTcast. This week, the CHOMPTcast is talking about Finding Dory, a wicked awesome movie that is extremely anticipated. And if you haven't seen Finding Dory yet, that's fine. We are very light on the spoilers all around, but we even give a spoiler alert for when we do start mentioning specifics about the movie. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy.
Hello.
We'll do it live, ladies and gentlemen. The greatest movie podcast of all time. I'd like to introduce you to my two favorite friends on the CHOMPTcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Marky Versace here.
Yo, what up?
And we also got Joshy the Man Kaplan.
How's it going?
And we are here to talk a movie that is long in the making. Now, Pixar is kind of in sequel city at the moment. Am I wrong in saying that Pixar's in sequel city at the moment, guys?
No.
They're definitely in sequel city.
Monsters University, Finding Dory.
And after a solid decade of waiting, we finally get the story to the blue fish from the Finding Nemo movie.
The blue fish who could.
The blue fish who forgot Dory. Finding Dory. Alright, but we're not going to get into that yet. And we're going to put up some time codes down below for when we're going to start getting into that discussion.
Some spoilers.
But first, we'll let you
Spoiler
know
alert.
before we spoil anything, of course. But first we got to talk about that movie news.
That movie news.
The movie news. That news we got for the movies. We got a bunch of superhero movie news. We got a bunch of theater movie news. We got a bunch of regular movie news. All kinds of good stuff. First off, I'm going to start talking about one of my favorite things that I've heard this week. Maybe not my favorite. Maybe that's the wrong thing to say. One of the most surprising things I heard this week. Josh, this is specifically going towards you kind of in a way.
What's up?
So let's talk about Steven Spielberg and the new musical he's decided to take on.
Tonight. You guys don't know.
I'm not going to serenade. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm not gonna embarrass
A West
myself.
Side Story. Steven Spielberg
WWS.
has announced that he's going to be directing and rewriting West Side Story
Tony
to put it up
Kirshner's
in.
writing it.
Yes, he is.
Angels.
They're going to put it up on the big screen.
The pictures.
The pictures. And apparently this is Steven Spielberg, a passion project of Steven Spielberg's. What do you guys think about that?
It's gonna be pretty dope.
I mean, Steven Spielberg's one of the best, right? He's one of the best at like the getting families
If
together
there's
and
one-
showing
if there's one
relationship.
big director I can trust with a movie like that, it's Steven Spielberg.
I mean,
It's not James Cameron. You wouldn't want to see James Cameron do West Side Story.
Because the way they get in the cars, they'd have the weird braid things. And,
Yeah, they'd be having
I mean,
sex with
I
the
think-
car.
yeah.
I think it really depends on how it's done. Because the original West Side Story movie is probably one of the top American movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Top
It's the American
50.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. And it's so iconic in the zeitgeist.
100%.
Of filmmaking and of dance and music and all that. What they will do with it, like that, the
Mhm.
finger snaps is part of the choreography, and that's such a like. When
So
you think
iconic.
when you think of West Side Story, you think of the Jets
Oh, yeah.
and the 10-minute ballet that starts the show.
When you're a duck all the
Yeah.
way from the first time you quack to the last leg you lay.
So if
Jimmy Neutron, kids.
if it works like that if they change it to
Well,
fit today,
That's
what
the
are
question.
They doing
Are
with
they
it?
going to change
I
it
hope
is
it's
the real
modernized,
question. But modernized in what way? Because back then we had a certain type of like, they're trying to integrate everyone in America, all the like new people, all the old people to America. But we're kind of in a situation now where immigration crisis is like a real thing. So it's like, are they going to adapt it to now and change the races of people involved to make it more fit now, like today's situation? Or do you think they'll keep it the same and try to do more of a recreation?
Well, it needs to. In order for it to work, the circumstances need to make sense. Like, it made sense that those Italian kids and the Puerto Rican kids were at odds against each other because they were living in the same ghetto, and they were both the low income, and they were both fighting to reach that second level in America, and they're both trying to push each other down. So in order for it to work, the stakes need to be realistic. You know what I mean?
No, completely.
So they need to find the right group, two groups in America that make sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they changed the love
Well, then that
If you
completely.
wanted to be very modern,
I know where you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
bring
see.
this.
two guys who fall in love.
That'd be extreme.
It would be
Yeah.
a very extreme change.
If
and
Maria
lot of
was a
people-
man,
Yeah, a lot of people would be pissed, obviously. But I mean,
that
Steven Spielberg will do whatever he wants.
Mhm.
He has the money. to
that's
do
an
it by
interesting
himself.
idea. I didn't even think of that, Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense within because the thing about Shakespeare is that you can adapt Shakespeare to fit whatever
100%.
you want, and why would an adaptation of Shakespeare you could adapt because
Mm.
it's an adaptation to begin with,
Mm.
and Shakespeare's whole the way Shakespeare's done is that it's adapted to fit whatever.
For sure.
So it really, but it just needs to. The stakes need to make sense.
Mm.
It couldn't be like it could never be like white people and black people
Oh no, that'd be too
in
much.
modern time. It'd be too on the nose, and it also needs to be an environment where you can suspend disbelief enough.
Oh, for sure.
Because at its core, West Side Story is a ballet.
Mm. Well, we'll stick with theater movie news then, and we'll save some superhero stuff for later. But what do you guys think about Wicked coming to the big screen as well?
I didn't hear about.
Wicked's
didn't
a
hear about
really
that?
yeah, it's coming in
I haven't
2019.
even seen Wicked the show. So.
Well, I mean, who has
Yeah.
Wicked? What a crap show.
I've never even heard of it.
No,
to
I'm
be
just
Um,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wicked's a really cinematic
Mm-hmm.
musical to begin with.
It's a big musical.
Yeah.
Like so many people know Wicked.
And it'll make sense. I mean, it's gonna I don't think it won't be anything spectacular.
Well, do you remember when Oz the Great and Powerful came out a couple years ago?
Yes, I saw
Yeah.
that.
Well, I'm assuming that had that was a big reason why Wicked isn't already a movie, because you'd kind of think Wicked would have been made a couple years ago,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, Wicked's being made
Because
because
the hype
Hamilton
of
exists.
Wicked the musical has really died down over the years.
because it's been on Broadway for over
Yeah.
10 years.
Do you think they'll get the original Two Witches back?
No, they're far too old.
Yeah, they have to play college students.
Yeah, they'll get
But they could have Let It Go be in
Idina Menzel
the
was
Wicked
other one?
movie.
Kristen Chenoweth.
Imagine if in the middle of Wicked,
She's so old looking now
Let
though.
it go.
Yeah,
Wow.
She aged really quickly.
Yeah. Well, no, she was old to begin.
Really?
It's not like she was a young girl.
Yeah,
no.
she's been on her Broadway debut was
Who are we talking about?
Idina Menzel was in 1990.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Chenoweth.
No, they're both really old.
Yeah.
Chenoweth's Broadway debut was in
We gotta think
1994.
Kristen Chenoweth. They had Wicked so that she could finally get a Tony.
No,
like-
Idina didn't. Kristen Chenoweth didn't win the Tony.
Yeah, no.
It was Idina Menzel.
No, exactly though.
Yeah.
That was the big thing, was
Mhm.
that it was Chenoweth that was supposed to get the Tony, and that's they wrote it for her
Yeah,
to get
exactly,
a Tony, but
yeah.
she didn't.
Yeah. They allegedly didn't like each other at all.
Yeah,
And they had
that just
Wicked.
make it more interesting if
The
they both
thing
came
what's
back.
interesting about Wicked is because it's a love story between two women, and that's gonna be really interesting. That it's
Yeah.
gonna be a big budget. People don't realize it, but all the romantic songs are between the two witches.
Yeah.
And that'll be interesting. I mean, it's gonna come out in December. It's gonna make a shit ton of money.
Oh, I think it'll definitely be interesting
But-
to say the least.
It's not crazy interesting to me.
You know what
Well-
would be the best thing about Wicked?
What?
If we finally get that Kanye sign that's sampled.
Yeah, that's really.
Oh my
interesting.
god.
Kanye's favorite musical is Wicked
Yeah.
because
The only musical he's ever watched. you
he
mean?
Nah, he was at Hamilton.
Oh yeah, right.
he views himself he really resonates with Alphaba the Green one. That
Yeah.
she's an outcast, but she's brilliant, and no one.
No one will accept Kanye.
Yeah, but she
Poor
can do
guy.
things that no one else can do.
It was a glitch the whole time.
Yeah.
She was on the side of the video game the whole time. You tell me they don't look like Kanye West, like I'm the glitch. Come on. And then Zane Lowe's just like, yeah, welcome to BPC One.
Well, let's talk about the news that I'm most interested in hearing. Because, classic Spider-Man fan here. Can't really help it. But it's
Gambino
been
is a
years
mastermind.
since someone
Bunch of
put up the idea of the childish Gambino,
Donald for Spider-Man.
Donald Glover, to be Spider-Man. Now, he was put up for that idea years ago, and he's actually casted to the new Spider-Man Homecoming movie.
You heard do you know who the Miles Morales Spider-Man is, right?
Yeah.
You
Of
know
course.
his
Doesn't.
uncle in the story?
Yes.
That's the rumor. of who it's
Okay.
gonna be.
Do you know his name?
His name is
Is
Prowler. I
the
think.
Prowler.
Yeah, Austin Davis is the real name.
No.
Yeah. Or something like that.
Because of the way that I know Mountain Marco. Man Mountain Marco was a character from the very, very first set of Spider-Man comics. Man Mountain Marco didn't come in till far after the Prowler did. The Prowler's pretty cool because he basically doesn't really have powers or anything, but he just wanted to do what Spider-Man was doing. Didn't have any powers, put on his own costume with knives on his hand, and he just became the Prowler. He's basically the Black Panther, but not cool.
So unlit.
But no, that would be really cool. That would be interesting. It's not like the Prowler ever taught Spider-Man anything, so it's not like... I think a lot of people think that Childish Gambino is gonna be in like a teaching role for Spider-Man, but I don't know.
Isn't Michael Keaton gonna be in the Homecoming?
He was rumored to be on it, then he was rumored to not be on it, and now he's officially signed into
The rumor
Homecoming.
is gonna be the Vulture.
Maybe.
but
There's been a
some
lot
people
of
are
rumors since then. I've heard Kraven the Hunter.
I think they should.
That'd
He
be
should be
nice.
the Green
Uh-huh.
Goblin.
What did you say?
Never mind.
I missed it. What did you say?
I said he should be the Green Goblin because they haven't done that enough.
They shouldn't bring the Green Goblin in. I don't need to see any half-assed disease.
Spider-Man.
Me and you could rule this city, Spider-Man! Jeez, is this the Donkey-Cast?
Yeah.
Hi, Bunga.
Hi, Dunga.
Hi, Bungus. Alright. Well, the other piece of Marvel casting news from this week, I think there have been a few different Marvel casting things, but I just wanted to run this by your guys' ideas. What would you think if Netflix was to acquire a new show, a new Marvel show called The Ghost Rider, and they casted a certain Norman Reedus to be the main character?
So pretty much the Ghost Rider with Daryl.
Yeah, The Ghost Rider featuring Daryl from The Walking Dead. That's pretty much it. Norman Reedus isn't really an actor as much as he's Norman Reedus.
I don't know. I mean, it would probably be better than The Walking Dead.
Well, they have.
Yeah.
Isn't John Bernthal Punisher?
Yes, he is.
So that'd be like a.
John Bernthal's. No, hold on. Sorry, Ghost Rider, not the Punisher.
Yeah, well, I'm
I
saying
know,
that.
talking about
I'm saying
Oh.
that'd be like a funny connection.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Josh doesn't even watch that show, and he's still coming out with things quick.
I ain't seen you since we were down in Georgia.
I was thinking of bring
And
Maggie back.
Punisher would be like, pow, pow.
Is Maggie dead?
No, you're trying too hard now, Josh. Now you're going into unscripted
Dude,
territory.
It's like 2 seasons from now in the comic books. Come on, man.
Sorry.
Come on, buddy.
I
Get
didn't
your head
watch it
leaking.
enough
Sorry,
with.
viewers.
All right, well, let's switch over to DC real quick. In a couple weeks, we're going to get the Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Cut, and apparently it got leaked online. The leak got taken down, but enough people saw it that spoilers have been released.
Is it still as bad?
I'm not going to get into what the spoilers
I
are.
still haven't
It's not worth
seen
it.
What
the
was the
first
review?
version.
Did anyone review?
It connects the dots a little more. What I've heard from the editor of Batman vs. Superman was that if you didn't like Batman vs. Superman, you're probably not going to have it fixed by this Ultimate Cut. But if you already liked it, you had some trepidations about it, this will fix a lot of them.
What if you didn't see it?
Are you going to see the Ultimate Cut, Josh?
Yeah.
Seeing as you haven't seen the first one?
I
Yeah.
didn't even see it in theaters. Like after seeing all the reviews, I was like, I don't want to wait because I don't even.
Oh,
like
so
Zack-
neither of you guys have
I
even
don't
seen
like
Batman
Zack
vs.
Snyder
Superman
to
yet.
begin with, really.
Yeah.
So once I saw the terrible reviews.
Are you guys just Marvel fanboys?
Yeah.
Did you get paid by
Marvel
Marvel not to
fanboys.
see?
Yeah, we're Marvel
Superman?
shills, man, like Chris Stuckman.
Oh, Chris Stuckman. That
Shills
dude is
for
the
shills.
worst.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like.
I'm just
oh,
kidding. Chris Stuckman's great.
Yeah.
If you want a real movie reviewer that's not the Chomp Down, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's great.
I haven't seen the regular Batman vs Superman. I'll wait for the Ultimate Edition.
Mm.
And if I like the Ultimate Edition,
I mean,
I
if you're
might
just
watch-
getting more movie,
might-
you might as well.
exactly. And then if I like the Ultimate Edition, maybe I'll watch the other one just
Mm.
to see what went wrong.
Yeah.
All I know is Martha. So I think
Martha.
that's all I need to know.
Ridiculousness, fam. All right. Well, let's see. What else did we have? Anything else for news, Joshy? Yeah, right, I think that's
Tony
mostly
Awards, but
We could do a quick Tony talk.
yeah,
Hamilton wins everything.
pretty much. They won a
Hamilton
lot.
wins
Tonys.
everything. The Hamiltonies.
Yeah.
They didn't have the
good
best
for them though.
performance.
They like deserve it to a degree.
Lynn's
They're all
speech
anyone talks about
when they
Yeah.
won
when Broadway
Best
comes
Score.
up.
Lynn's speech.
Love is 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 love.
Yeah,
is
that's
love,
pretty
Is
cool.
love is love is love.
He's
is
leaving
love,
the show
Is love is
July
love
9th.
is
Lynn is
love
gold.
is love is love.
He's
is
just
love,
gold.
Is love
Want to know
is
something
love.
crazy?
What?
So like back in October, like this October 2015, he was celebrating his 96,000th Twitter follower because like
Yeah, no, he's got like what 400K.
he's over 500,000. Like
No,
that's
I
crazy.
know. I remember the day he got 100K,
Yeah.
and then he was on Complex, and
I was probably Twitter follower number like 500,000.
oh, okay.
I made it.
Well, we got Josh and Kaplan stunting on us already.
Woo!
So. I remember the
Wait,
good old
Josh,
days.
did you see that show with the President of the United States?
He didn't see Lynn perform though, so he took an L.
Nah, Lynn was in front of me.
Was he really?
He was like in the 2 rows in front of me. He was
Say
in
hi.
my sight. I didn't say hi. He like came in and then the show started. He was like in my. I saw
he was
him.
like, hey, I could be doing this right now, but fuck you.
No, I like. It was actually really
Hey,
cool.
I saw this kid Josh Kaplan in the audience,
And
I
I was
really
like-
that guy, so fuck you.
I saw him reacting to the show, which was actually really cool. Yeah.
Mm.
And I saw the
Did
president
you make
reacting.
eye contact with him?
I waved to him. He waved back.
Oh
Yeah,
my-
you know.
Oh my god.
I heard you didn't get in because they thought you were going to try to kill the president.
Did you go up to Lin Manuel?
I heard they didn't even let you in the show.
Did you go up to?
I'm in the show. I'm in Hamilton.
What?
Yeah, funny.
Did
I'm,
you, go,
lying.
did you go up to Lynn and go, hey, my name's Josh. I was your 50,000th Twitter follower.
yeah, I was like, hey
Go
man,
shake
Is
his
that a
hand."
fact?
and he was like, ah ha ha ha, gif.
No.
Please get away, please.
Do you guys want to jump into Dory?
Yeah, let's
Josh
find
trying to
Dory.
stunt
All right,
being the
so
50K follower.
Let's start off with a non-spoiler bit of Dory. So, I didn't preface this with you guys before the show started, but since we're gonna do spoiler-free, we're not gonna get into any real details. All right, we're just gonna talk about our general opinions of what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like. All right.
It was a beautiful looking film.
It was beautiful.
There was that one shot when they were like out of the water and just it looked real.
Oh.
It looked like an actual photograph.
Are you talking about like at the end?
in the first half,
Hmm.
the first third of the movie, I'd say.
There's like the original Finding Nemo was so beautiful. Just the way that they animated the ocean and the fish,
Mhm.
everything about the original Nemo was beautiful.
I remember
Somehow they outdid themselves.
Yeah,
I
and the
remember
music
being a
too.
kid seeing Finding Nemo in theaters, like at the very beginning when they're in the coral reef,
Mm-hmm.
and like just seeing all those colors like explode on.
Yeah.
My mind was
Just the
like,
way the
what am I
water looks.
watching?
It's so beautiful. Like, I always thought that there was something about
Like,
the way that the
especially
fish
since, like,
looked.
the majority of the second film takes place like indoors almost,
Mm-hmm.
and it still looked beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is really an interesting,
The shot,
like,
the shot of, well, actually, it's just kind of a spoiler.
Yeah,
so I'll just leave it.
yeah. We'll wait till we get to spoilers for anything specific. But Josh, overall, what did you think? Yay or nay on Finding Dory?
yay. I mean, it was a really entertaining movie. I don't like it. Definitely seemed, and from the shit I've heard, like Ellen DeGeneres was like, I'm one of the most popular people in the world, and I was a guest character. Make another movie for me. And it's a really good movie, but like, it just seems like it didn't really advance anything for me. You know what I mean? But
It
I
didn't
don't
give
think
you enough backstory.
I don't think that is. I don't want to fault the movie for that because I thought it was really well done and I thought it was very enjoyable. But did it? I know they're making The Incredibles 2, but why would they? The Incredibles 2 is the only Pixar movie to me that really justifies a sequel. And why would they make this? Why would they release Finding Dory before The
Well,
Incredibles?
see, I think the sequel's kind of justified because what Finding Dory really comes from is like, all right, we've told the story of Marlin, we've told the story of Nemo. Really,
Yeah.
I don't think Nemo still has a character personally.
No, he doesn't.
He's still basically like just a MacGuffin of a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
I was hoping for a little bit more character.
yeah, I agree. But the movie runners wanted to tell the story of Dory and
Yeah.
where he's came from, and I think they did that. I think I know a lot more about Dory now, and I
But
feel
the
a lot
thing-
more sympathetic towards her.
I'd be a lot more interested in like a movie about Crush. Or like
Who wouldn't though? Come on, that's easy.
Yeah, but
But you definitely would get sick of it after an hour and a half of like, come on, man, you gotta ride the wave,
Yeah.
bro.
like why are they
That
all?
was the best part of the movie.
I don't know. It's just like
Spoilers.
Pixar to me.
For the original
What
Finding Nemo.
first? Can we just say what your favorite Pixar movie is? Because I feel like that your favorite Pixar movie guides your discussion on Pixar. So, what's your favorite Pixar movie?
My favorite Pixar movie of all?
Yeah.
Is this my favorite or is this the one I like best?
I mean, isn't
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Is this my favorite, like the one I like best, or do you mean the favorite is in like which one I think is the best?
fit a combination of the two.
All right.
So try and reconcile.
The
that.
best is probably Up
Okay.
because of the first 10 minutes in the way that like you
Mhm.
kind of like discover Russell and Carl as characters.
Mhm.
I think is really beautiful.
All right, Mark. What's your favorite?
It's really close, but I'm gonna say Toy Story 1.
All right. Mine's Wally.
Toy Story 2 was only
That's-
okay.
That's number 3. Okay.
Wally.
Did you say Toy Story 1 or 2?
2. It was only okay.
I love
Yeah,
Toy Story 2.
2 is not amazing. But
You
it's
ever
still
see that
good.
video of the guy who's in the crowd? It's just like a normal like crowd, like everything's fine, and then some dude just grabs a mic and just goes, "Toy Story 2 is only okay." With the loudspeakers, it's looking good.
I don't know. Like, I think couldn't they have made it like they had that? This really isn't a spoiler, but they had that part where there was that like soda ring thing around Dory.
Yeah.
Couldn't they have made it like that? It could have been a cooler, interesting movie if they had done something like we're fucking destroying the ocean, like environmental thing. You know what I mean?
I thought they were gonna do something with the soda ring.
Yeah. Or like
It was like just like a subtle throw.
the coral reef is dying, and like can we do something like that within the context of
No,
Dory finding?
here's the all right. We're still not in spoiler town.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. I thought that Finding Dory was gonna have a real anti-aquarium vibe,
I feel
and
like
it didn't.
I feel towards the end it did.
I don't think it did. I thought that I kind of felt like it was going there, but then like
that's a different kind of aquarium.
we'll get to that in spoilers.
I think
suppose.
imagine if the aquarium was like a SeaWorld type thing, and they were just like wicked like in a response to Blackfish.
Well, that's where I kind of thought they were
Yeah.
gonna go. All right, so Mark, what was your overall opinion of Finding Dory? Yay or nay, and why?
I liked it. I mean, it's not gonna be at the top of my Pixar list at all. but
Yeah,
It's
I don't think it was one of the best Pixar's ever done.
it's probably one of their better sequels.
Yeah, because
Definitely.
Cars 2.
Yeah, Cars.
Is that the only other sequel they have?
No.
Monsters
Toy
University.
Story 2.
Monsters University. I think it fits right in with Monsters
Yeah,
University.
yeah, they're pretty equal.
Mm.
Cars 2.
No,
Cars 2 is trash.
Finding Dory.
I didn't really like Monsters University.
It had its moments.
I like Finding Dory
a lot more than
Monsters University.
Like some of the Monsters University stuff wasn't that cool, but like when they go through the door and they scare the kids at the camp.
I don't know.
back,
I like that
it's-
Monsters University stuck to being a prequel rather than Finding Dory being a sequel with a crap ton of flashbacks. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
No,
I
that
see
makes
what you mean.
Finding Dory did have a lot of flashbacks.
It did. But
Yeah.
like they didn't just cram them in at random.
No,
points.
I think they were
Like, it made
warranted
sense. Like,
for
you
sure.
could see them coming.
Mm.
Like Dory would stop and then just brain blast.
Brain blast. So good. Good
I liked
reference.
Like all the new characters were pretty good too.
Agreed. There were a
Like, there
lot of
wasn't
really good
one
new characters.
character where I was like, ugh.
No, none of them were annoying.
Like the whale.
I liked all the throwbacks to classic Finding Nemo we had too, because there were a lot of them. There were a lot of like really in your face nods to the old movie,
Seagulls.
but there were a lot of very subtle ones that I thought was really cool too.
I was hoping. Are we in spoiler time?
Not yet.
No,
We will be
alright,
soon though.
I'll hold it. I'll hold on to the spoiler.
All right, well we'll jump into spoilers then. But before we do, Mark, 1 through 10, what would you give this movie?
Solid 7.5.
Josh, what about you?
7.
I'm gonna give it a 6. But I'd say I almost liked it more than you guys. Just because neither of you
So
seen
you
that
gave
hype
it
on
the
it. I think Finding Dory was I really enjoyed it.
You
I'm
gave
only
it
gonna
the
give it a
lowest
6 though.
score out of all three of us, yet you said
I just don't think it deserves that much more than a 6. Just because 5 being
You're hitting us with reverse psychology right now.
No, just 5 being like a normal movie that doesn't do much for me. No, you know what? A 6 isn't fair because Finding Dory gave me like real feels.
Oh yeah.
It gave me
Sure.
real
Yeah.
feels.
No, it was sad.
And I felt like all the feels that I had towards Finding Dory were really warranted. Not just because of like feelings because of the first movie, but because of feelings it created on its own. So I think for that reason I'll give it a 7.
The soundtrack was sick.
I don't want to give the same rating
Yeah,
as you guys though.
definitely.
Well, I like that the soundtrack was so reminiscent of the first one too.
Me too.
Even like the chase scenes kind of had the same feel as the first Finding Nemo did. All right, well let's jump into spoiler city then. If you haven't seen the movie, please go do it. Oh, Josh, 1 through 10. I'm sorry.
Oh
yeah, I'm sorry.
7, yeah.
God damn it. I'm sorry, guys.
Come on, Benjamin.
If you haven't seen the movie yet, go see it. But now we're in spoiler talk. So let's talk about let's pick a best bit. Josh, if you had to pick a best bit from the movie,
I
what would it
really liked the 2 whales, Bailey and Ty Burrell.
yeah,
so
that's
so the actor's name for one of them and the character's name for the other one. You sexist pig, Josh.
Caitlin Olsen played the other one.
is, like,
I didn't know.
I'm
Ty
sorry,
Burrell's
Caitlin
playing-
Olsen's one of my favorite actresses.
Yeah,
So let's
she
talk
was
about how
great.
that was a
You
whale
triggered
shark.
me.
It wasn't even a whale.
They couldn't
Shut
have
up,
the
Mom.
whale.
That
They
was
couldn't
the
have
whale
the.
shark saying, speaking whale.
Was that more just like they wanted to get the sharks in? They wanted to get the whales in. They were just kind of like,
Yo,
eh,
where
we'll
was
just do
Bruce
one.
at?
Yeah, where was
They
Bruce?
had every
When
other.
he
That's the
referenced
throwback they
him, I
needed.
was like, bruh, where you at?
They had every side.
Last time
character
you said it
except
was
Bruce.
3 whales.
Yeah.
It's like there were 4. Were you there?
Yeah, I was waiting for a hello.
Hello.
Because that's the best part of the
Hello there, Bobby.
Have you been on the Finding Nemo ride at Disney World?
Oh man,
It's sick.
hold on. You're talking about the one in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this real quick, Josh.
Yeah.
In California,
Oh shit! I've heard about this.
they've changed the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride into Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
You take a submarine into the water. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so the 2 wheels is your favorite bit.
Yeah, I like
Alright.
them.
What was the best bit for you, Mark?
I don't know. There was a lot of really good ones. Probably the scene where what was the octopus's name? I forget.
Hank,
Maybe.
the septopus.
Yeah, the septopus. When he gets Dory out of quarantine for the first time,
Mhm.
and he's like acting all. It's kind of like a spy movie where he's walking down the hallway.
Mhm.
It was pretty fun. Just like all the scenes with just him and Dory were all really funny.
I thought he might have been the best new character for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
Ed O'Neill's the guy's name.
Yes, I don't know.
He
Modern
he
Family
was
movie.
fantastic, but the effects for him camouflaging and stuff, brilliant,
Oh, yeah.
brilliantly done. Some of them were so genius the way they figured out how to
Can
make his
octopuses
camouflage
actually
look
do
cool.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah. They can-
I didn't know that.
octopuses can camouflage better than anyone else. Also, octopus. See, here's the thing about that movie, right? It doesn't make sense at the end when the otters are going and they open up the back door. It really doesn't make sense when the octopus is driving, sure. But octopuses are scarily smart to the point where scientists think that octopuses could be like aliens. Like it doesn't make sense how fast they can camouflage, but also like there's this really crazy there's this they were studying this octopus that was escaping from his enclosure every night, and then he'd be there again the next morning, and they saw it on the cameras, and they were like, what is going on? And this octopus found a way to like sneak out of his own his own enclosure, sneak across the aquarium into another bit where there's like a bunch of fish, and he figured out how to get into their thing, just scoop them out, eat a bunch of fish, go back to enclosure the next morning.
Damn.
Octopuses are crazy.
Yeah, that's like when the octopus gets out and he's talking to Dory, and then he just grabs the coffee pot and takes a sip of coffee.
I loved how they just totally just had him just sipping coffee like out of a mouth that didn't exist.
Yeah, like they didn't notice it, and Dory didn't say anything. Just
That was
have a casual sip.
that was brilliant. He scoops them right up.
One thing I was hoping to see.
Mhm.
Remember that credit scene in Finding Nemo when the fish from the aquarium?
Oh yeah, we didn't see any of them, did we?
Dentist's office. I was hoping they'd be somewhere. Like even just a nod to it, but I mean they were on the whole other side of the world. So.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
All the way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like it would have been sick
T-shirt
to just
according
see
to
them
all the others.
because Finn was one of the coolest characters of the first one.
Oh, for sure. You mean Gil?
Yeah, the zebrafish.
Yeah, that was Gil, I think.
Oh.
What was
whatever his name
the
was.
guy who played
Force
Scar,
Awakens.
right?
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons, yeah. He's gonna be in Assassin's Creed. Getting pretty hyped for that.
Yo, did I ever Mark? Side note. Did I ever tell you? My brother was like, check out the trailer for Assassin's Creed. The song they use sucks.
Don't
It is trash though.
I
I am a god.
He
I
was
believe
like,
I'm a man of God. My whole life in the hand of God. I got my butt in the hand of God.
bitch, I'm out doing your over. You know, I'm a hangover. That trailer is sick. Too bad Rogue One's never coming
full
out.
of random noises.
I'm trying to think of what my best bet would be. It's kind of hard.
I loved the. It was like a small one, but when Dory is back in the ocean exhibit,
Mm.
and Dory looks at the grass in the undertow,
Mm.
and like the little like theme that played like earlier in the flashback starts playing,
Mm.
and then the flashback kicks in. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, I like
It
that
was
too.
a small scene, but I liked it a lot.
I liked how they did the shells at the end, I guess.
Yeah.
How it led to the climax, and when she sees all the trails of shells and
Oh,
the
yeah, once
the
you saw
pan
that
back.
one shell, you knew where it was gonna go.
Yeah.
It's still beautiful.
I liked how like the like aquarium whatever was just the way they used it was so clever. Like Dory and Marlin using like the spray sprout thing to get back into the tide, and like all the fishes being terrified of the kid zone. I just really thought
Yeah,
they
I
used
like
their
that.
environment in a really interesting
Yeah, the
way.
touchstone was probably the funniest bit.
Yeah.
Quick question before we move any further. Now, they would have had to make it so that like only one character experienced any time in this at all.
Yeah.
But what if the septopus was the little octopus from the first Finding Nemo that couldn't handle his ink,
Oh guys, you made me
and that's why he has one less?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
No, he was with the group.
Maybe
Yeah.
in an alternate
but he did
reality.
ink.
I was really hoping for some more interaction with Nemo and those other kids. The horse, the seahorse, the squid, and what was it?
Yeah, that was the thing though. I think like they did a lot of callbacks to the original, but they just they should have added some of the older characters too, because there were a couple really good callbacks with like Crush and Mr. Ray. But other than that, I don't think there were many other ones.
I like that
The seagulls, when Dory was
Did they say
trying to find
mine though?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
When Dory was trying to figure out how to get back home, and then there was the seagulls.
I like the
Hmm.
big rays. Like when they had that big group of rays and they were singing how Mr. Ray
Yeah, the
always
migration
sings.
song.
Yeah,
That
I
was
thought
really
that
cool.
was clever. That like, of course they would sing because Mr. Ray always sings.
I love that bit with the two crabs, and that one's like cutting the grasses. The
Yeah.
other one's just like talking to Dory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. This will be quick, right? What'd you guys think of the short before Finding Dory?
I was cool.
It was beautiful.
What's your favorite Pixar short?
Probably the Chess Man one.
that's
Just 'cause that one's so classic.
Chess Man.
I really like the Cloud one from a couple of years ago. I kind of want to do some chomp downs of some Disney shorts that
like
came out
the,
before Pixar. I think that'd be
The
sick.
one with the stars. I forget which one that is.
I like the one with the birds.
Birds one was pretty good.
Oh, the one on the lampposts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
I think it might have been for Brave, the one with the stars. That
I
was
see. That explains
see
why I don't know
Brave?
that one.
What?
Did you see Brave?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
I've never seen Brave.
It's his favorite Pixar
it's-
movie.
Really?
Mark loves Brave. He just loves to be like that special snowflake.
My favorite Pixar movie is
Stop.
Frozen.
The movie was so bad.
Let it
Oh
go.
my gosh.
Let it
You think it was
go.
that bad?
It's definitely, it's above Cars 2,
My favorite Pixar
but
movie
below
is Shrek.
everything else in Pixar.
Did you know they're rebooting Shrek?
They're not rebooting it. I think there's more
They're
sequels
making
coming.
another sequel to Shrek.
What do you think about that?
I really don't like the Shrek movies.
I like him.
Shrek 2 is a classic.
Yeah, Shrek's really classic as heck.
Like, no, like I'm not even trying to joke. I really like Shrek 2.
Remember that movie? Remember back in the day when it was like Pixar versus DreamWorks and like the two big animation studios, and like Pixar had Shrek, like around the same time like Bugs Life, and they came out with that Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron.
Yeah.
Remember that movie and that kind of like bombed.
Yeah.
Remember Ants?
Don't tell me you don't like ants,
I love
bro.
ants.
Dude, we'll have a straight up like battle about ants right now.
I saw ants like in IMAX, I think. Yeah,
You
ants
want
is
to know
dope.
Paul Allen founded Microsoft? You want to know who Microsoft is ran by?
Ants?
Ants, ladies.
Welcome
and
back to the
gentlemen.
Donkey-Cast,
Ants.
ladies and gentlemen. We made our way full circle. Well,
Where's Shark Tale?
huh?
Where's Shark Tale?
Shark
Of course.
Tale, low key, wasn't bad.
Shark
Like
Tale
obviously
was,
Finding Nemo was far better.
Yeah.
But I don't mind Shark Tale.
I like Shark Tale. I like that part where he's falling down the cavern and he like stops after he's like screaming. He starts going,
having the sharks as like their own little mafia was
Mm.
awesome.
Yeah, and getting all those actors in on it too.
No, definitely. It was like a Godfather and Goodfellas reunion.
Remember Despicable Me?
Before we get too off, is there anything else you guys want to say about Dory?
Little baby Dory is the cutest character
Cutest thing ever.
Pixar's ever done, by far.
I agree. Oh man. All right. Here's something I wanted to
Everything
talk
that
about
rivals
before
it on
we.
the cuteness factor is the little kid from Up.
I wanted to talk about like the fact that this movie. So I feel I heard about this before I went in, but I have this strong feeling that this movie was made to like with a strong message that like no matter what's holding you back, you can kind of do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's like a really really strong message for a lot of kids now that have like any sort of special needs or any sort of like
Absolutely.
literally anything, because literally every character from Finding Dory had something wrong with them along the way that kind of held them back, and Dory kind of helped them come out of their shells. Where if it's like the beluga whale not being able to use a sonar, the shark whale not being able to see far enough, or the octopus, I forget what was wrong with him, but he had something.
He didn't like people.
Was that
He
it
wanted
though?
to be
The
alone.
octopus? Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to be alone, you're right. Yeah. So like the whole time Dory's parents are just like, you can do anything, Dory. And like at the beginning they're like, you can't go play with the fish, you have to learn first. But then when she learns at the end, they let her go play with the fish.
Yeah, the part where baby Dory's like talking to herself and the little like coral thing above them. She like sees her mom crying. That was like probably the
Oh man, that was real feels.
She was like, oh, he likes purple shells. Yeah, that was rough.
I felt like this movie really hit on like the way that I'm sure people with special needs to some degree feel like a burden. Because of the way that Dory was such a burden on everyone around her, and it made her hard for her to like stay anywhere. I feel like this movie's gonna hit home with a lot of people in that way.
I
Absolutely.
could definitely see that.
I think they did a really good job. I think that should be
Like,
commended.
If I was a parent and like I had a child with like
Even just a
mental
reading
problem,
disability.
Yeah, any disability.
Yeah.
While seeing Dory's two parents struggle with it.
Oh,
but
they
still
loved
do
her so
well
much.
Is
There's so much
like
love.
if I had a child with a disability and I watched that, I probably would have been moved to tears.
Yeah, for sure. I think. Ugh. Well, anything else, guys? I just wanted to throw that in because that really was strong for me. Yeah, definitely go see Finding Dory if you haven't, and if you have like. If you have seen Finding Dory, let us know what you thought down below if we missed anything big.
They still haven't reached.
Or if you disagree with everything Mark
Pixar
said.
still isn't at the stretch where they went from The Incredibles, Cars 1, WALL-E, up. That whole stretch, they're still not as good, but I think they're definitely on the rebound.
They're on the rebound. They're in sequel city, like I said before, but with like Good Dinosaur, Zootopia.
Zootopia wasn't Pixar.
Zootopia was Disney Studio.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
I like the Good Dinosaur.
Zootopia is
The storyline
great,
was
though.
kinda meh, but
Mm.
it was really beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
What's the next Pixar movie that comes out? I'm about to Google that.
Ayo.
Incredibles 2 is being
Ayo.
made, but that's probably pretty far off still.
Yeah.
Toy Story
Hopefully
4
it's
maybe?
Cars 3.
Why are they making Toy Story 4?
I don't know.
Why? Because the money, Josh.
Toy Story 3
The money.
Toy Story's 3 ending is fine with it going to the new little girl, but that also opened it up for so many sequels. And I feel like they can still be enjoyable, but Toy Story 3 had the perfect ending.
It's the money.
I was an absolute mess at the end
Cars
of Toy
3
Story
is the next one.
Ugh.
Then Coco, which is...
That's what I was hoping for. You know, Cars 3 just looks so good. Finally, we're going to get our answers to Cars 2.
Did you see the little synopsis thing of what it's supposed to be based on?
No.
Cars 2 obviously went off the rails with that whole spy thing. Cars 3 is supposed to be Lightning McQueen. Now he's an older car on the race the race circuit and all that, and he's like dealing with all these young guns.
Hover cars.
Cars 2 was like a freaking spy movie.
Oh yeah, it was completely off the rails. But supposedly, like from what I read, I think it was on Slash Film. Lightning McQueen's like an older car, and like there's a bunch of young guys trying to take his spot. So he's kind of like the king in the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a new race car that he like,
He did what in his cups?
and the race car like shows him new moves.
Mm-hmm.
I forget exactly what it was because I read it a couple weeks ago, but honestly, it sounded interesting.
If I'm gonna be honest though, I don't think I can handle Owen Wilson being the Mr. Miyagi of the movie.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Well,
be
no,
weird.
like I think like the other cars.
You'd be like, oh, my nose, it's so weird.
Do you guys remember?
As long as there's no Larry the Cable Guy.
Do you guys?
He did what in his cups? Go ahead, Josh.
Do you guys remember the Buzz Lightyear TV show?
Yes, the animated one.
Buzz Lightyear
That show
Star
was
Command?
Too good.
Amazing.
Do you remember Void in Space? The TV show. Disney
Yeah, I
TV
do.
show?
Dude,
We should have a Chomptcast just about old like cartoons.
that's a
like
classic.
from our not old.
I'm down for that. Yo, if you want that too, ladies and gentlemen, hit up that comment section down below. Tell Josh that he needs to get his butt on making a list of the old TV shows we got to talk about.
So the next original Pixar movie that's coming out is called Coco, and it's based off Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead.
I feel like there was a movie just about that, like an animated movie.
Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Bullshit. It's a chain reaction. Bullshit. Living on nostalgia. Bullshit. Gonna remake another. Bullshit. They are out of their shell.
See that movie?
Yeah, it was awful.
Really? But they bought you free pizza.
Everyone's talking about like, yeah, but you know what? The new Ninja Turtles really cut me deep in a way.
Yeah.
Because it was like the allure of having these things that they needed to have, and just like the Ninja Turtles only fought Bebop and Rocksteady one time in the whole movie. Krang wasn't a surprise. He was just there. Casey Jones literally wasn't Casey Jones, and there's a scene where Megan Fox literally dresses up like a Catholic schoolgirl in slow motion. It was just a garbage film, honestly.
Like in the most recent Star Trek movie where they had that chick changing.
I have no problems with that. I have no problems with a single decision Star Trek has made.
The funny thing is that Megan Fox was in Transformers 3 because Michael Bay.
Yeah, 'cause she called him Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just, she's all over Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, I was gonna look like a slutty Catholic girl.
There's only,
Michael
oh
Bay
my
do
god.
Ninja Turtles
He
though?
produces it.
So pretty much he runs it.
Craziness. You could just tell how
many-
much his hands are all over
scale
that.
of 1 to 10, how much Baygasm was it?
Oh, not as much as you'd think. Like the first one, which was worse than the newer one for sure, but it didn't have a single explosion until the end, where literally it ended with an explosion that Mikey set off by accident. It's very on. They know.
Transformers 2 has to have the most Baygasm out of all of them.
I don't know. Transformers 3 has a yeah. Transformers 2 is probably
All those movies blend together. It's
Oh
not-
yeah.
It's just like a
not for me.
I
They're
didn't
all
even
just an
mind-
individual
I
nightmare for
didn't
me.
mind Transformers 1 when I was a kid. Like,
I
enjoyed
did.
it.
I
And then-
didn't enjoy it. I saw it 3 times in theaters, and every time I was like, "Why am I not loving this? What is going on?"
And then I remember I saw Transformers 2 like 2 years later. And I was like,
They're also hella long.
Yeah.
Isn't like Transformers 2 like 3 hours long? Or close to
Something like that. I'll never forget when.
the newer one with Mark Wahlberg that like nobody saw yet, it still made a ton of money, was like 2 hours and 45 minutes long or something like that.
If you want to hear me talk about how racist the Transformers are, you should totally check out the Movie Spoiler Podcast, by the way, if you're listening to this.
By
Movie
the way,
Spoiler
Josh,
Podcast is super
in our
lit.
group chat, someone just said Incredibles 2 is going to be the best Pixar sequel of all time.
Obviously, because
If it's not terrible.
Also, Incredibles is the only movie that actually sets itself up for a sequel because that digger guy just pops out after they save the world and like, haha, we're back, and they're about to save the world again, and it's gonna be like, they should have made an Incredibles 2 like 3 years after the Incredibles.
Yeah, that's the thing. With Dory 2, though, I feel like it's a little too late.
Incredibles 2 should have been made like the time Brave came out.
Exactly.
It would have been the perfect amount of time.
I don't.
But
I
instead
don't
we
know
got
if, like,
Tomorrowland by Brad Bird, and that was...
Tomorrowland.
Well,
I never even
Brad
saw it.
Bird-
I wanted to, but yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I watched it on HBO
My
a couple,
brother
like
likes
in
it.
the last month. It was alright,
I
but
really like Brad
Brad
Bird.
Bird-
You know Brad Bird did Incredibles, right?
Yeah, I know. Brad Bird's just his auteur type.
They were
And-
cramming too much stuff into one movie.
Like,
Mm.
didn't he do John Calvin of Mars or whatever?
I think he was involved with it.
Oh, John Carter?
Yeah, John Carter of Mars.
Oh, John Carter is such a sad mark in Disney's
And
history.
then didn't he also do
Such a low.
Prince of Persia?
Wait,
Prince of Persia with Jalen Hall.
Yeah.
was John Carter a Warcraft prequel?
No.
Makes sense.
In real life, it
Oh,
was kind of. Just a warning. Don't make big budget movies. No one will see them unless you're in China.
Already made more money
that's
in
all they
China.
care.
In
Compared to Force
China,
Awakens,
it's
Taiwan.
made nothing in the United States though.
But they already made their money back from China.
Yeah, crazy.
Like imagine bombing in the U.S. but making enough money in
Well,
China.
the
to
third
pay
Transformers
for it.
movie, the whole ending was in China, so that China would like love it. Also, Terminator Genesis, China loves
Terminator
it.
Genesis is one of the worst movies.
We don't have to get into that now. Well, all right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
What else we got to say about Dory? Anything real quick? 10 out of 10 movie. Go see it.
Best movie since
10
Iron
out of
Man
10.
3.
Best
Best
movie since
movie ever.
Cars 2. All right, Josh Kaplan. Where can people find you if they want to get in
They
touch?
can find me at Joshy Kaplan on all social media outlets.
On the Twitter,
On
in the
Twitter,
Instagram,
on the Instagram, on
in-
the Snapchat,
in the Tumblr.
on the LinkedIn.
Maki, where can people find you, Budzo?
You can add me on Twitter at Maki Versace, like the clothing brand. You can see me at
Is that what Versace is?
Stop and Shop gas station, slinging gas.
Wow, you let out some pretty personal information right there. Someone's gonna try to kill you.
If you mention the podcast, I'll dap you up and give you a shout out on the intercom.
Oh, hot damn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know where to find me. Twitter's at the Chomp Down. Got my YouTube channel right down below, and hit that subscribe button for more Chomp Down and more of the
That
CHOMPTcast.
motherfucking subscribe button.
Boys, thanks for
Hit it.
going out and seeing Dory with me. This has been a good time. This is a good cast.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your night.
Chomp
We
so
outta here.
hard.